if you feel that you're confident in Python, write Python. Don't write beginner and all these things, right? Otherwise, the ATS will not be able to detect. Let's say it is searching for Python, and you have written Python beginner, and that to beginner spelling is wrong. So, like, you expect, what do you expect, right? These are the things. Now, this guy has told that program forming, community forming, all these things. So, I'm not sure, like, you have not mentioned that what you have done, right? And apart from this, the coding profiles and projects, all these things are missing. But considering this person is in first year, so that is perfectly fine, right? Now, I'll move to some of the brilliant resumes that I saw today. Like, one resume is from, give me a second. Where is the resume? So, one resume is like this resume, right? It's a very good resume, to be honest. Like, this is the best resume that I found, right? Are you there, Shra, Rajan Pandey? Are you there? Pandey ji, aap hain? Right. So this resume was very great, right? It's when you look at it, so you see that okay, it's perfectly fine, right? But there are some problems with this kind of a resume as well. Like, I'll tell you in brief a little bit later. Like, when I click on this, so it will direct me to its LinkedIn. Like, as I mentioned, like, some person in the initial starting, what he or she had done was he or she had mentioned his profile links in bullet points, right? But this is how you should mention them in the top. Like, LinkedIn logo is also there, so I can without looking at the text, I can see that okay, this is a LinkedIn profile, this is a CodeChef profile, this is LeetCode profile, this is GitHub profile. Then this person has also mentioned the name, the place, the email ID, right? All these things. In the achievements, as I told you, right, the work experience should be there if you have some work experience. So this guy is a teaching assistant in Coding Ninjas, right? So he has written that part, and what he has done, he has also written that he has written that solved this much doubts, and the average rating of this guy was this much, right? So when the interviewer comes and sees this part, so he will be able to understand, he or she will be able to understand that okay, what are the things that are asked there, right? Now, his internship was in data structures and algorithms, so he was taking doubt. He was a teaching assistant for DSA. He has also mentioned that part, right? So this is really great, right? This is really great. Now, if I'll move down, so this guy has what, till third sem, like, one more problem, right? 2020, like, resume is very good, but it should mention that 2020 till 2024. Is that clear? Are you there, Pandey? Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can mute yourself. So this part, right? This part I'll like to tell that if you, like, you should mention 2024. Let's say there are some hirings where they say that 2024 batch. Even on the websites of companies, you will observe this in on websites like Amazon. Like, recently, like, not like, after some time only Microsoft Engage will be coming, right? Microsoft Engage program will be coming. In that, they will require 2024 graduates. So how will I identify that you're a 24 graduate? Because, like, it's not clearly mentioned, right? So these things you should mention. Like, the interviewer should not calculate that okay, 4-year program means this much time, right? So you should mention that in which year you are going to pass out, right? This thing. Now you have mentioned your this thing, okay. Now you have made your project, right? So you have mentioned the website link of your project. That is perfectly fine. Another thing that that you could have done is, besides your website link, you should have also maybe mentioned the GitHub thing, right? GitHub thing should have also have been mentioned. Like, is it a team project? Uh, Pandey, is it a team project that you have made?
Kind of.
Kind of, but if it is a team project, because you have said that you have built the front end, so maybe some other things might have been built by other people or something like that. If it's
Yes,
a
sir.
team project, if it's a team project, right? So then you should mention that which, like, what work you did, what work others did, right? If it's a team project, then its value increases a lot. Like, you have said that a website for providing health tip and also for tracking calories, right? So is it kind of a clone or inspired from some YouTube videos? Is it so?
No, no, it's just a normal front end website.
They,
All this calculating payment. No, no, it's not a clone.
okay. The thing is that since you have done some teaching experience and all those things, so your resume can get highlighted a lot, right? Your resume can be seen, like, when the recruiter sees this, that okay, you have been a teaching assistant for this much time, and these things are your there, right? So you should also, like, did you get a certificate of completion and all those things like that?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
maybe what you should do is, when I click on this Coding Ninja kind of thing, so it should redirect me to the document, right? To the document, right? Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Like, if I'll just open your LinkedIn, so let's say I open your LinkedIn, right? And what I do is, give me a second, guys. Let's say I open your LinkedIn. It's a little bit slow, right? I'll open it, like, it's opening, right? So basically, this thing, right? This thing, you have mentioned your profile, your rankings, right? But But like you have mentioned that you got a global rank 11 in code chef snackdown, right? This is the way that you should mention it. But the thing is, you have mentioned that you got this much global rank, but out of how many people, right? You know how many people? You must be knowing, right? You participated in this thing. Can you see this mistake?
Yes.
Elimination, right? So these things you should not do, right? Elimination, parallel, all these things, whatever it is. But you should mention that you got a global rank this much number of people, right? Among 2,000 people, among 3,000 people, among 10,000 people, right? Like you have mentioned lead code twice, right? Can you see this that you have mentioned lead code twice? So if these two ranks are very similar, right? 1036 and 1223, right? Like they are having a difference of kind of 200, 220. So these are same. So you can maybe write one rank less, and you can write this rank that okay, I secured this much rank among that much number of people, right? So that they can be a dominant. Like if you get a rank of 11 out of let's say 10,000 people, right? So that matters a lot, right? That matters a lot. So that's why you should mention that how many people were present. Okay, that thing is much necessary. Like you mentioned this part, right? That among 20,000 participants, you have got this much global rank. Global rank of 130. That is great, right? You have mentioned that you got this much as you mentioned here, right? Yeah, this much in this part, right? So if your this rank is good now, then you should mention it above. You should mention the better ranks, because here the thing is you have got this much rank in 2 lakh participants, right? So maybe you can mention it on the upper order, right? Is that clear? Right. Now the next thing that you have done is you have a hash code. So when you write this hash code, right, you have written this hash code in bold. So what you could have done is you could have hyperlinked your hash code, and whenever I click on this hash code, so I should have been redirected to your certificate and things like that. Is that clear? Maybe that thing could have been done, right? Now when I see this part, so like this is nothing but the college coding competition, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if it's a college coding competition, so considering that if you, I think you are in your second year, so that is perfectly fine. But going forward, you can remove all this college going contest, right? Because like there the number of audience that participates is very less, right? Now you have written that you have qualified NTSC stage 1, so that is fine for now, right? Like you have written C basic. So what should I expect when I am in an interview, right? You have like almost written all the languages except Python, right? You have written C, C++, you have written Java, JavaScript, or you have written C++, you have written data structures, algorithms. But like should you like if you know only Java basics, right? So should you write it? Possibly you should not write it, okay? If you know something like basic only, so what, like everyone knows this much basic, right? But you should not write that I know basic. If you know, you should know it completely, or you should remove it from your resume. Otherwise, no matter how much resume good your resume looks in the top part, if you have lied in your resume that you know this and you are not able to answer even a easy basic question, in that case it will create a negative impact on the interview, right? Is that clear? Is that clear? Now, right, that this resume I just wanted to review. So I've seen your profile. So you can see your on your LinkedIn you have not like this is not acceptable, right? In your LinkedIn background, again it can be a personal choice, but I do not expect someone to put this kind of a background, right? I am not sure why you have done this. You should be putting your photo, right? You should be writing. You have not written here that you are a teaching assistant kind of thing, right? Ex teaching assistant at this organization. You have not done that. Apart from this, like you have written it here, but you have not written it here, right? And here also you should write it. You should write what are the things that you have done, right? And apart from this, I guess all the major certificates are missing here, right? You have not attached your certificates and the rank, right? You can write it in terms of test scores and things like that. So is that clear that these are the things that you can improve in your resume? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's move on maybe to the next resume. I will see. I've checked maybe. Let's see if Sachin's resume has been checked or not. Yeah, it's been done. Let's see Achal's resume. Okay. This was another good resume, I will say. Right, it was a good resume. But now I will go through these resumes, and now I'll tell you that how you can do the formatting better. Right, you have this resume, right? So when I look at this resume, it looks good. But like, can you see this part? Just focus on this part. Like Achal, are you there? You can write a yes in the chat if you are there. I'm not sure. Uh, okay. Right. So the thing with this resume is that you can see this part, right? If you see this part, I'll come back. So if you will see this part, right, guys, you see this part. Like, can you see a lot of gap is there, right? A lot of unnecessary gap is there at the top. So the indentation is missing, right? So basically, I think that this was a dot docs, like this was a Microsoft Docs where she had made a resume, right? But Now what you should do is you should build your resume on latex. Okay, you should build your resume on websites like Overleaf, right? Overleaf, or like Novo Resume, right? Novo Resume kind of website, or you can say Hacker Resume, right? Hacker Resume is also another website, or you can build it maybe on GFG Resume Builder kind of things, right? So you should build your resume on those things, right? Because the thing is, like, I can see that this indentation is not good, right? And that does not create a good impact. Like she has mentioned that, like, when you say that December 2020 till present, so first of all, why is this is December? Because this was a COVID struck year. Like this, the year was affected by COVID, I guess, right? But you should only mention that 2020 till 2024, right? Kind of this thing, right? Like, and you should mention this in brackets, and you should mention CPI 9.62, right? And this part is okay. Now she has the look at the way that she has written, right? It's really good that she has written the skills in this way, right? She has written that in terms of DSA, she has done maybe 100 questions from this and 40 questions from here. Like soft skills, you can definitely skip soft skills, right? It's not required. She has mentioned that she knows MySQL and MongoDB both. I'm not sure how much, like, if she knows both the things, then I cannot see a project, right? So that is why she should not have written this thing. If she has mentioned that she knows C++, JavaScript, TypeScript, so I cannot see the projects, right? The way she has mentioned the skills, like if someone is looking that, okay, these are the databases that you should know, these are the development skills that you should know, these are the programming languages that you should know, in that case her resume will get highlighted. But the thing is that she has not done any kind of projects. I cannot see any projects here. The resume is definitely one page. Like in the extracurriculars, she has written this, that she got third prize in all these things. These are perfect. Like she has mentioned that she got this much rank in this, like, but I guess like how Pandey had given a test link, so she should have also given the test link, right? And you should write it like this, that she, like she has written she was ranked 22 among 130 people, right? And she secured a global rank of this much in Kickstart round G. So she should have mentioned that maybe 10,000 people participated or whatever. She has mentioned that 3-star codon on Coaches, right? So that is good. 3-star. In apart from this, she should have also written that, okay, max this much, right? This part she could have mentioned this part, right? So like like the thing is that the normal resume is when you are making it in Word, right? When you are making it in Word, so the thing is it's not that much optimal, right? It's not that much optimal. So what you can do is you can either build it on latex, right? I'll show you one website. So there's one website that is Overleaf, right? I'll just show you some resumes on this website. Okay, it's asking me to log in. Let's look at the templates if it can allow me to see. uh Give me a second. Okay, where's the resume? Give me a second, I'm just searching it. So let's say I search for the resume templates. Let's see if it gives me or not. Hopefully it should, right? Yeah, this part. You can see that there are a lot of templates, right? So you can see that when I click on resume, so it is giving me a lot of templates, right? Like this template. You will see this particular template, right? So the thing is, like, you can use this format, right? You can use these formats. Like in this, what happens is there is no spacing problem because it is governed by the latex kind of language, and it helps you to optimize your resume as well, right? In this case, you will not be required to take the tension of how the indentation is going to be done, right? If you add something or move something up and down, in that case, like, you just have to fill the data and it will get done, right? Like in this case, if I'll show you, so there's one, like in this one GFG, you will search on your, if you go on Google and you search GFG resume builder, so this kind of a thing will appear, right? So if I select this resume, maybe, let's say, right, then what I have to do is I just need to fill that, okay, this is my basic info, this is what I've done, then these are my work experiences, like this is my degree. Then I can put that, okay, these are my achievements in my points. Then I can put that, okay, these are my skills, right? You can keep on adding your skills. Like let's say if I add, let's say, Java, right? If I add Java, so I do a add skill and I do save and next, right? So this is the way that it can be done. In projects, it will ask me to add my first project. So how it is asking me, so it is asking me to write a title of the project. Okay, title of the project. Then it is asking me to give the link of that particular project, and then it is asking me to tell about that project in brief, right? So that is what it is telling me. Now, if in the social media links, you can see that although it has said social media, but it just asked me for the GitHub and the LinkedIn URL, right? So people who are mentioning their Instagram and all those things, that is not required at all, right? And then if I see, if I this once you fill this, so once you go to your resume part, so your resume would come, right? Let's say I have this resume, right? I have selected this resume, so I'll have to fill all the basic stuff, right? I'll fill all the basic stuff, like this stuff I'll fill, then I'll fill the work experience, all these things, then it will show that okay, this is how my resume is looking, right? So give me a second, I'll just copy this part and I'll send it to you in the link. You, if you want, you can use this particular template as well, right? This just give me a second. You can choose this part, right? Choose template. If you go to choose template section, then you can use this template depending on your requirement, right? Is that clear? You can write a clear in the chat, and then I'll be taking you the next things, right? Okay. Now let's say that for the people who were let's say for the people who were something kind of let's say they have done some internships and all those things, right? Or maybe people will ask me like it's good that not many people have written the certificates, but if you have certificate, right? So what type of certificate you should add? Should you add actually a certificate? Like, do you know that organization like CodeChef has a CodeChef CCDSA kind of exam, right? Do you know this? Foundation level, advanced level, all these things. You know about this? You can write yes in the chat, maybe if you know about it. If you don't, maybe you can write a no, right? So that kind of a resume, right? That kind of a resume, that kind of a certificate can help you a lot, right? But like this resume helps a, this kind of certificate helps a lot. But if someone has put like let's say if someone is putting that 30 days of Google resume, right? 30 days of Google resume, or some Microsoft or LinkedIn resume, any kind of virtual internship resume, all those things, so they are not acceptable, right? These things will lead you to direct rejections, right? So is this much part clear to everyone? I hope that it is, right? Is it clear? Now you can ask me if you want to ask something. You can definitely ask me, right? You have some doubts regarding resume, so you can unmute yourselves and ask me one by one. So I'll be very happy to answer them. You guys want to ask something regarding resume building, or maybe regarding computer programming or DSA, something like that? Yes. Is there anyone who wants to ask something, or I should proceed further? Sir, what is the role of
Sir,
GSOC,
hello.
right? Yes, yes,
Hello, sir. Sir, I
yes,
am
yes, please.
asking a question regarding programming languages. So, for placement purpose, which language is good for getting a good placement?
See, for DSA, either you should choose C++ or Java. Like there are two things. This is for DSA, right? You should be good at DSA. So either you should do DSA in C++ or in Java. These are the most two preferred languages, and you also have to do development, right? You also do have to do development. So for development, you can either choose JavaScript or Python, right? You can either choose JavaScript, that is, you can do React, Node.js, all those stuff, or you can do Python, Django, Flask, and all these things, right? Either of these two, either C++ or Java, and either of Python and this, right? Is that clear?
Can I do both of it?
You can do both of it, but you should not be like that. You should not be like jack of all trades and master of none. You should be master in one language at least, right? That's why. If you will do like doing like if you do many languages, that does not mean that your candidature will increase. Your uh, capacity to get accepted will increase. It is not like that. Okay. Now moving on, like how minimum skills are required to write in your resume? Okay. So maybe if you want, I can show you my resume. That is very basic, but I do have it in my laptop currently. So maybe I can show it to you, right? Although it's not updated from last many months, right? So if you will, so is it clear? Is it visible? You can write visible in the chat if it is visible, right? Is it visible?
Yes,
Is
sir,
it
it's
visible?
visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, guys. Okay. So just don't keep spamming me. Okay. Basically, you can see this part, right? This part I've made it using Overleaf. You can use Overleaf, GFG, Resume Builder, things like that. Okay. You can see that my GitHub is mentioned, right? My GitHub. When you click on this, right, you will directly be redirected to GitHub, right? You when you click on this thing, right? Let's say you click on this thing, you will be redirected to my LinkedIn, right? And you click on email, so it will directly redirect you to write an email and things like that. I've given the phone number as well, right? So like when I write plus 991 on all these things, so it directly indicates that it's an Indian number, right? Although it's not necessary. But you can see that since my experience and all these things are pretty much high, so that's why what I've done is I've taken this education, right? I have this college name, year, right? Basic stuff. Then I have bachelor's of technology in IT. Then I have written the CGPA. Although CGPA has increased to 8, but I've not updated it since few months, like then I have mentioned that okay, what roles I have done, like what types of internships I've done, what was my impact there. Then I've mentioned in my achievements, right, that okay, I've mentioned that this is my profile link. All these things I have mentioned, right? Like you can see when someone clicks on the profile. So I've not mentioned it on the top. Basically, that's how I have made it. But the way Pandey has also made, so that was also perfectly fine, right? So you can see that when you click this, when you click on this profile link, so it will redirect you to this part, right? It will redirect you on this thing. And if I'll show you further, so let's say you click on this Code Nation, Codegon. So when I say that my global rank was this much, right? This much out of this many people. So if you click on this, right, so it will redirect you to the website, the coding website. Okay, it will redirect you to the coding website. So you can, like, the interviewer can verify as well, right? If I've given this thing, if I've given that okay, I was the problem setter for this particular contest, so I've given the link for that particular contest. So whenever the interviewer clicks on it, or someone manually checking it clicks on it, so he or she will be able to go to that particular contest, right? Because these things, if you have done something, so they should be visible. I've done this using try, all this stuff. Like, although I've not updated it for since a long time, as you can see also, right? So these things you should mention, right? Apart from this, like, I have not done much projects, although I've done some, but I have not updated this resume since 6 months. So this is how it should look like: compact, simple, and sleek, right? Basically, first of all, your education should be there, experience should be there, achievement should be there, and projects should be there, technical skills, right? If you will see my technical skills, I've written very less things, because like I've just written Java, JavaScript, and SQL. Like me, I know some few more things now. I can probably write React and all those things, but it will not be more than 4 or 5 skills, right? So you should be very specific, because the interviewer should know that okay, this is the skill set that this guy has, and he or she is not lying. Okay, these things are there, right? Is that clear to everyone, right? Is that clear? Did my resume help you, right? The, like, getting a an overview, like how it should actually maybe look like. Okay. Okay, what this guy is saying is board percentage necessary. Uh, if the company is coming on campus and they are asking you to fill your 10th, 12th, all these things in your resume, because in colleges, in like you are in NIT, right? You are in NIT, right, bro? So your college must be having a format for the third year and the final year people for having a resume. So what you can do is you can follow that format. If they ask you in that format that you should mention your 10th and 12th, so you should mention that. Okay, otherwise it is like, I do not mention it, because the thing is that my resume will get a lot of lengthy with irrelevant stuff, right? My 10th like usually 10th and 12th does not matter much, right? That's why. Another thing, like J means is not required. Okay. Any other questions for regarding resume or
Uh,
anything?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sorry to interrupt, but we only have time for two more questions, guys. So please drop your questions in the chat box so that yes, sir can take them as quickly as possible.
All right. Guys, do you have the form? Like, Abhilash, do you have the form with you? Feedback form? Yes or no?
Sir, I'll keep it rolling. Just give me a second.
Um, I don't remember where is that feedback form. Okay. Any other questions you have for me? I'll just now. Should we always keep the skills and certifications as per only to design designation, or put them all? Should we keep the skills and certificate as per only to designation, or put them all? No, basically you should, like, if you are applying for SD intern kind of thing, so you should put that thing only there, right? And like, if, as I said, like, if you are someone who is finding it difficult, so maybe what you can do is you will search on GFG, like you will search like, if you will go to Google, you will search GFG resume finder kind of thing. So here what will happen is, you just fill your details, you just fill your title, you just fill your education and all that stuff. You have to fill it here, and the resume will automatically take care of the spacing and all those things, right? You put Java here and all those things, you put achievements, you put your social media links. In terms of social media, it is also telling you, right, only GitHub and LinkedIn is available for filling in social media. Then you save and move, and then when you go to your resume part, so your resume will be made, and from here you can download it, right? So is that clear? Now this person is saying, can hacker rank and LinkedIn badges certificate if we don't have any enough content? Hacker rank skills and badges you can add. LinkedIn skill and badges you should not add. I don't think it's very easy to get LinkedIn badges, I guess, right? How many pages should be there in resume? Only one page, right? Is DBMS must to get internship? Definitely, DBMS, DS algo is important. Sir, we have to focus only on on coding side or more like code chef, coordination, code process. Like this is my resume, right? So that is the context that I have given on all those things. So that is what I've done. You can definitely like have a different point of view. You can do development, you can do open source and things like that. Although I'm a competitive programmer, so that's why my resume looks like that. Sir, how to figure out like it can be a 2-column resume as well, like as Pandey had mentioned had made, right? Now Anshi is saying, sir, how to figure out about the keywords we have to add for the particular job. Okay, so let's say you go to this website, like let's say I have to see. So let's say I do careers, careers dot like GFG careers. If I see GFG careers, right? If I see that, let's say GFG careers, give me a second, it will correctly open the thing, right? So let's say I go to careers.geeks.org, and let's say maybe I'm applying for a software developer, Django software developer, Python software developer at Geeks. So it is saying that you should apply. I'll zoom in for you, right? I'll zoom in for you, and this is the job description for every website, right? I'm telling you for GFG, it can be for Uber, it can be for Amazon. Every company has this job description, right? You can see they are saying that you should be what? You should be knowing RESTful APIs. You should be knowing HTML, CSS, SQL, right? You should be good in data structures, algorithms. You should be good in Django. You should be good in backend. You should be having some knowledge about cloud like AWS or any other cloud services, right? You should be good with object-oriented programming. So these things you can put in your skills, right? Then that these are the keywords for a particular job, right? Is that clear? Is that clear to everyone? Okay, I think my
Okay,
screen
so
goes now.
I have circulated the feedback form. Everyone is required to fill the form. And thanks a lot, yes sir, for giving your precious time for and enlightening our students. I hope that they are very much satisfied with all that you had to say and impart your precious knowledge onto us. So, guys,
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. You can fill the feedback form if you have any queries. Right. Thanks a lot.
please fill the form, guys. It's mandatory for everyone to fill the form. And with that, I guess we would like to close our session. Thanks a lot again, yes, Dwivedi sir, for joining us. And
Thanks
thanks
for
a lot,
having me.
everyone.
Thanks for having me.